this video, I'm going to be going over Barcloud, and I'm going to show you how to add inventory on the system, how to assign equipment to an MSU, and also how to create your inventory list for your cards. So this is the dashboard. So if you were to go, if you log into Barcloud, you go to the home page. This is what you will have. Basically, the only tab really that you guys are going to be needing as an installer would be the inventory tab. So within inventory, you'll be able to look at all your assets. You'll be able to search for your branch. So basically, on the search criteria here, you have the branch name MSU. That's gonna show you a list of all the MSU within your branch. Gardena MSU inventory, that will show you all the units that are on inventory. And Gardena MSU components will show you all the different components that's out there, which are the different type of MSU related equipment. So let's see if we have anything here. It looks like we only have one Verizon haircut for MSU component. So if we were to type in inventory, so we should be able to get a list of all the inventory within the Gardena branch. Here you have the option to sort it out. You could basically click on that column and be able to sort out the that field accordingly. So if we want to sort out chronology, if we want to sort it out by ascending and descending order, then we could basically do that by clicking on the on that field on that column. So now that I've kind of given you an idea on the navigation on this screen, let me show you how to format the this screen. You go to Edit column here, and within the Edit column, if you notice here, asset number showing up here, assigned to. So basically, the columns that you want to list, you will need to enable it by clicking on that particular record. So basically, we have the asset assigned to is the MSU the unit is assigned to, the model number, which that's the type of MSUs or type of air card or type of cameras. Serial number SCE, that's the SCE number. Condition, that's whether it's new, use, what have you. Location ID, that's the branch. And these are the other fields related to MSUs. Now let's go to, now that we've gone through that, let's look at the add new. This is where you will add the equipment. So here under asset, that's where you will enter the asset ID, which this is the barcode that's had given to you guys. So let's go ahead and put some information here. MSU 1000 model. These are the different type of MSUs. There's the MSU Standard, MSU Pro, MSU Standard 2 cameras, MSU Pro is the 4 cameras. If it's a solar unit, it's gonna be a MSU Standard solar unit. That's a 2 camera solar unit. And of course, there's the V1. V1 are the big MSUs. V2, that's the Magnum Light Tower. And the V3 is the new design MSU that has the smaller toolbox in it. A lot of you guys probably have not seen that unit yet. That's being used in the Gardena and the Fontana area. So let's go ahead and choose a unit here. Let's type in Pro, and all the units that are Pro will show up on your list here. Pro V1, we'll choose that, and then select and return. Asset name, we'll leave that blank. Acquisition type, we'll leave that blank, or we leave whatever the default on there, which is purchase. SCE, this is your SCE number of the unit. Condition, I'm going to go ahead and call this unit new. A person, this is where the unit is assigned to, whether it's assigned to a client code or assigned to inventory. Let's go ahead and assign this to inventory. Location, that's your branch, and whether the unit is out in the field, you would call that the branch name, MSU. Or if it's out in inventory, if it's out in the yard, you will call that MSU inventory. So let's go ahead and look for Gardena. Gardena MSU inventory. Select and return. But before we do that again, I'm going to go back and repeat myself here. Gardena MSU, those are the units deployed out in the field. Gardena MSU component, these are the components such as the air card, the type of camera, or the type of encoder, such as the Hikvision or GeoVision or Hikvision. Now, if you have a unit that is defective or missing some parts that's not usable, you would choose MSU maintenance. Production uses that, so you guys as installer, you will not need to choose that option. So those are the 4 different options you could choose from. Monitoring, if a unit is being monitored, whether it's local recording, CV2, or SureView. Equipment type, this is where you will list the type of encoder. So if it has a Rialto, type of camera, if it has a Samsung, you put for Samsung. If it has a Hikvision, you put the for Hikvision, where it's Smart Series, or the bullet type. And we'll do a little training later on, or give you guys information on how to determine whether you have the Smart Series or the Value Series type of Hikvision camera. And of course, URL IP address, that's the DYN DNS, or the IP address of the camera. So once you have filled that out, you're going to go ahead and save it. Once you save it, it becomes a record, as a record for that unit. Now, let's look at this unit. Now, since we're in this window, we're going to look at assign. Assign is the field where you can assign a component into the MSU. So let's click add, and then here you could type in the particular asset number, AC. Let's look for anything that is MSE. And here you have the search criteria. You could do contain. Anything that says MSC you want to see, so you could do contain. And I'll pull up anything that has an MSC on it. So you choose the item that you want to link to that MSU. Hit select and move on to the rest of the asset that you need to add. So we're not going to save this, but that's now I've shown you how to add equipment to Barcloud, and also I've shown you how to add and assign a piece of equipment to an MSU. You do the same thing here. If you need to assign an air card to an MSU, you go to assign and add, and look for that air card by searching for that item, and then add it into to this screen. So I'm not going to close this. I'm going to go ahead and close that, but not save it, I meant. And so now that you know how to add, how to assign, the next step is how to move a unit from out in the field back to inventory, or vice versa. So let's look for an MSU here. So what you'll need to do is search for that MSU that needs to be moved. Here, under Action, there's the option there for Move. Very similar to the mobile app. Location, you will choose the location where you're moving it to. If it's going back to the yard, you're gonna type in Gardena MSU inventory. I'll choose this. Select, choose a person. Since this is going back to the yard, we're gonna call this inventory. And if it's going out to the field, then you choose the client code. There's going to be a moment or times to where you're not going to be able to find that client code. John creates those client codes as he assigns those service tickets. So if he has not gotten around to do that, then you'll need to give him a call or give me a call, and I'll help you guys create those client code. So once you've done that, if there is anything missing or any damage or anything that needs to be done to the unit before it needs to go back out, you could type a transaction note in this field. So let's go back to home. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's so many different ways in Barcloud. You could go to receive. That's another way in assigning unit to the system. Or you could go to asset, which is similar to the inventory window. But what I recommend is use the inventory, and that's pretty much all you need to go. Now, the last thing I want to discuss here in this video is that make sure that these fields that I have here, make sure that you guys select them, because initially by default you're not going to have all these fields. So what you're seeing in this on this screen is the same field that's going to show up on the Barcloud when you do edit or when you receive an item using the Barcloud mobile app. So if you don't, let's say if you don't choose the URL IP address here as a column to show, it will not show up on the mobile app. So when you go back and edit that particular unit, that field is going to show up. So make sure. If you guys have any question how to format this, just let me know. You can give me a call. So